Okay, so let's say you put on a fly fit, right? You think you look good, you think you look straight. You leave your crib thinking you the one, you the one. You leave your crib, you go hang out with your friends. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that fit. And then you go out in public, you walking up and down, you at the club, you at a party, you at the restaurant. Ain't nobody saying nothing about your fit. You post your fit on IG. You got 4 likes. And now you thinking, dang, I thought the fit was cool. I thought I looked, yeah. Why ain't nobody saying nothing? Now you're starting to think you don't look as fly anymore. You want to know why? External validation is going to do it every time. External validation is going to change how you value happiness, how you value yourself. External validation, it just flips the switch on everything. And you see how you had that feeling at first, how you felt good, and how that goes away when you start basing how you're going to feel based on the external? You see how that changed how happy you got? You got to be careful with this external validation. And I want you to know, and the reason why I use that example, because I feel like that's normal. I think it's normal to want external validation at some point in your life. I feel like that's a normal thing we all go through. Who never wanted that? You see that person, that you know you got to have that one person you see, you think they don't care what anybody thinks, they good, they confident, whatever. There was probably a point in their life where it wasn't like that. And they were basing what they wanted, how they felt, how they wanted to assure themselves through other people. We all go through that. But life will teach you to stop doing it. Life will teach you external validation is not the one. What's going to be good is the internal validation. How you validate yourself. And just to make it clear definitions, y'all, external validation, you're seeking reassurance, you're seeking approval, you're seeking what's good based on something outside of you. The main one that we use is people, And internal validation, it's the same thing, but you're validating yourself. You're reassuring yourself. You're telling you trust yourself that you feel good, you look good, regardless of what the external got to say. That's, in simple terms, that's the main difference between the two. And which one do you think is going to make you happier? Okay, if you didn't say internal, we're going to have to talk this through, okay? Internal validation is going to make you happier. My main point with all of this, because there's so many reasons why I can explain why external validation is going to change how you value happiness. The main one I want to express is that external validation is something that you can't control. So if you're if you're basing your happiness based on something external, you're basing your happiness based on something you can't control. It's not certain what other people are going to say. You can't tell yourself, oh yeah, for sure people are going to say this. For sure people are going to agree with this. For sure, no. You're building up expectations that aren't real. But you know who you can be certain on every single time? Yourself. That's why internal validation is going to outdo it. You can rely on yourself that it feels good. Who cares what other people got to say? Imagine this. Let's say you have like this Bill Gates type of idea, like beyond this world type of idea. And you feel good about it. You think it's a really good idea. And you think this could really change your life. And you go tell your group of friends. You telling them how, oh, this is crazy. Oh, I want to do this, da-da-da-da-da. And they giving you their feedback and they kind of telling you it's not the one, G. It's not it. They don't understand it. They might start hating on it. They might tell you crazy, whatever. Bottom line, they may tell you something that doesn't align with what you originally thought. Bottom line, right? Now if you value external validation over the internal, now you're not thinking this is a good idea anymore. Dang, everybody said it's bad. That must be true. Why? How's something true about what you feel going to come from somebody else? There's no way. What you need to do is build up enough strength Even if everybody telling you, oh no, that's crazy, or whatever, they say their opinions, or they don't say nothing at all, you still have to feel good about the choice that you made. Or however you feel, whatever the case may be, you have to feel good about it. You need to build up that internal validation. External is, you can't not control external stuff. Like, accept that. Accept that you can't control internal, and accept that you can't control the external. I mean, me basing my happiness or how good something is based on what another person says is ludicrous. And honestly, that's an unrealistic expectation you're setting on somebody because people aren't you. People aren't you at the end of the day. And you know why, how you feel. And you gotta be okay with standing on that, respectfully. External validation, it's just not it. Who cares what they think? I know in this world we program to generate that we have to care about what other people think. It has to be right if other people think it's right. No. There's some things you're gonna have to stand alone on. And there's some things other people are not gonna understand. But that's where internal validation comes in. That's where even though they don't understand it, I understand it and I'm okay with it. That's where you have to build up that internal trust, that internal network within yourself, that internal reassurance. You have to be okay with being why aren't you? I think the real question would be, why aren't you okay being the only one okay with it? This is your life. This is your world. Who else are you going to value more than yourself? I'm going to keep it a band. God is main supreme. You feel me? But I'm talking about like people, you know what I mean? Like, why aren't you okay with being the only one validating? Don't you think your opinion matters? Don't you think what you think matters? Why would somebody else think matters more than what you think? I think you should ask yourself that if you having issues with external validation on why you value it so much. It could be programming. One thing, never beat up yourself for wanting it. Never beat up yourself on it. It feels good too sometimes. Dang, everybody telling me I look good, or everybody telling me like I'm doing good things. Yeah, that can feel good. But you have to be okay with sometimes you're going to be the only one telling yourself that. Straight up. And you have to be okay with that. You got to build up the internal validation. That's the action I would ask you to take. External validation, it's just not it. So that's why you got to build up the internal validation. The more you build up internal validation, the more external validation gets eliminated in your system. You don't care about it as much anymore. You gotta flip the table on this. If right now you care about external validation, flip the table, let it go down, and let the internal validation go up until you can just fully drop it off. Drop off external validation. Nah, be you. Be okay with just being you. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna say it again. My main point with this external validation stuff, you cannot control it. You cannot. I mean, there's no way. You're gonna control another person's thoughts, feelings. You can't control that, but you can control yours, right? Heavy. That's why internal validation will always be better. And just because somebody doesn't think how you think, that don't mean they're a hater or something. But it kind of sucks sometimes when you tell somebody something and they just not validating it how you did. And this is why, like I said, do not base so much on external, because then what? You felt so good about something, you tell somebody else, now it changes because they said something? No. Try to get to a point where you can have an idea, have a look, have a whatever, and be so confident in it where you can tell another person, and no matter what they say, you still feel good about it. You still feel good about it. That's how you know that internal validation is real. That's how you know it's real. And trust, how you feel on the inside, it's gonna translate on the outside for certain. External validation, that's gonna mess with your happiness, man. That's gonna mess with your feelings, because your feelings now become another person's feelings. What you think is fly is based on how another person thought was something fly. No. Happiness don't even come from somewhere else. Obviously, things in life can like make you more happy. Like I'm a big sucker for ice cream. You know, obviously somebody buy me ice cream, like I'm gonna be really happy. You feel me? But happiness at the end of the day comes on the inside. You trying to look for it at the outside. You looking for happiness and things you cannot control. That's gonna be a tough road. Let me tell you, that's gonna be a tough one. It's a lot more easier taking the time to build up the internal and feel the happiness on the inside, and instead of basing it on something else. Find it's in you. It's in you somewhere. Even if you feel like there's no way. There's no how. Even right now, you feel like there's no way there's happiness in me. There is. Because when you feel happiness, who's feeling the happiness? You do. I mean, like, even if you get happy when somebody else is happy, at the end of the day, you feel the happiness. You feel your own feelings. So anything that you want, and you feel. If there's a certain feeling that you want, it's the same thing. People who want love, don't you have to feel love? You can feel love, and that's already in you. Okay, cool. Somebody else has love for me. That's an add-on. That's additional. Somebody else around me is happy. That's additional, but that's not the origin. The origin of your happiness gotta be in here. It's somewhere in there. Trust. It's not your happiness is nowhere in somebody else's mind. Your happiness should not be based on somebody else's feelings. No. And external validation is just a no. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta low-key kick it. Just kicking it, you know what I mean? No escape, but you just gotta kick the external validation. That's all I gotta say. You can't control it. And you basing your feelings on something you can't control, like, that's just an endless loop of talk. Honestly, I think it's borderline toxic. I think it is. That's a toxic relationship you're gonna have with yourself. If you basing on how happy you should be based on like something else, like that's outside of you. You gotta build a good relationship in yourself. Stand firm on you. Build the internal. Build the trust. Even just start small. Just start small. Like, for example, let's say you want to try something new, like waking up in the morning. Build the trust that you can do that on your own. Build the trust that you can do it within yourself. Just start small things to start building trust. The more you start building trust within yourself, the less you want to trust what other people say about you, because you trust what you say about you. Trust don't only got to be feelings. It could be different things in life. You know, trust yourself that you can go to the gym. Okay, that might not be a feeling, but that's still you building trust in yourself. That's still you building reassurance in yourself, because you're sure of the fact you can go to the gym. Build trust. That's how you build internal validation. Build reassurance. That's how you build internal validation. Even talk to yourself in the mirror like, you know, I look good. And if I'm the only one who thinks I look good, that's okay. That's not sad. Like, I don't know why people thinking it, like the whole numbers thing. Like, people be thinking, oh, only a lot of people got to tell you. No, like, your opinion will always be the most important one. What? Your opinion is always going to be the most important one. Over you, over your life? Yeah, definitely, bro. Like, stop playing. Don't be playing with yourself, okay? Like, forget external validation. Kick it to the door. You got to drop it off. That's going to mess with your happiness heavy. Make sure you drop it off and build internal.